Hello friends, my name is Theo, and today in this exciting Mr. Media tutorial, we're going to be taking a look at a sort of sci-fi fashion beauty look. The sci-fi part is going to come at the end, and most people aren't really going to need it, but, the rest of it will be useful. So, in DaVinci Resolve, here we got a nice lovely shot of Amber, because, pretty girls are always pretty. And one of the fun things about this, I'll go more in depth about what we're doing with this in a later tutorial, but this is mainly just to hold my feet over flames for doing that, is we're going to be grading in an ACES color space. So that is one of the great things about Resolve. And like I said, I will talk more about this later, but to get to that, go to color management in your project settings. And this is a project settings interface from Resolve 14 Beta 7. So if yours looks different, you can upgrade or not. But anyway, I think it's still under color management, even in other ones. You're going to go change your color science from Davinci YRGB to ACES CC. And that's the latest version. Good stuff. And I have no input transform, and the output transform is Rec 709. This is fun stuff to play with. So like no output transform, that's what that looks like. And we're just going to do Rec 709 because that is going to be our delivery format. So good stuff. So that's set. And then with ACES, we're going to go on our media page and right click on our clip. Go to ACES import transform. And this is Blackmagic Design 4.6K film. No input transform. Also looks the same for this particular thing, so there might be some metadata going on, but just to be sure. So there's that, and you can see automatically this is, a little bit different look than the straight out of the camera 4K film look, which is fine. And then we're going to go into our color page and get started making this thing happen. So nice. We're looking good. This was shot raw on the 4.6K, so here's the raw settings we have from the camera if you want to know. So there's that. But we're going to do the grading, and the grading, this stuff you don't need to change for the grade because, we're going to be nice. Let's find a good still. That would be a good thumbnail. Look at that. Great thumbnail. Get lots of clicks. Thanks, Amber. So the first thing we're going to do is just add a little bit of contrast. The ACES takes care of a little bit of that for us. Bring it up. It's a little bit harsh. Bring it down. Nice. So that's looking good. Then add just a little bit of saturation. So that's a good little primary correction there. So working good. Now we can get started on making stuff really happen. So we're going to do our typical select the skin tone, Shift H. We can see what we're doing. Awesome. Let's take away a little bit of the wall. A little bit more stuff. Bring this down a good little bit. And see if we can bring back any more of those highlights. Nope. I'll call that good. Add a little bit of blur to this, and we'll see how we're looking. And for this, we're going to add a little bit of contrast. One more pivot down. That's looking nice. And then we're also going to reduce the mid-tone detail some, just to give her a little bit of smoothing. There we go. So Alt-Shift-Z, zoom in. You can see before, after. Gives a little bit of extra life. Smooths out the skin a little bit while still leaving. This is a little bit out of focus right here, so let's find a part where it's halfway in focus, if we can at all. This whole shot's out of focus. But trust me, it'll leave, the more high frequency detail. So it's a little bit of a frequency separation technique. So that's looking good. And then Alt-O, we'll create an outside node, and we'll just make this a little bit on the blue side because it's sci-fi. So there we go, we get the background just a little bit blue, get some sweet separation with Amber. Alt-S, and now we're going to go to our hue versus hue and create a point at cyan and red, and we get all these points. Unclick all the ones we don't need and just bring our cyan point up a little bit, and you can see this is turning our blues a little more tealy, which people like. And I think our skins are pretty much red on the money right now. I might desaturate it just a little bit, but since I'm looking at this, we'll make it happen. And since we already have our skin key, this is nice and easy to just bring our saturation down just a smidgen, since it is sci-fi. Yeah, so we'll make it look a little more Hasselbladdy with a little bit less. Yeah, so that looks a little more expensive. Nice. I will take that. And then this next part, we don't really need to do this time, but whenever I was testing things out, I needed to do it, and it was an interesting thing. So we're going to go ahead and track our eyes because, it could pop out a little bit more. So get this going, add a new circle window, drop the center right in the pupil, Yeah, that is what that part of the eye is called. Yay. Media Media biology lesson. Get that going. Go to tracker. I can even leave 3D turned on now, which is nice. I can hit Alt D to turn off all our grades just so this track's a little bit faster. It'll be kind of slow because I changed some drive stuff around and haven't unchanged it. But yeah, I mean, that's not too bad. So that sticks pretty well. And then we're going to go ahead and add another one. So add a circle. Let's go to a good part in the frame where we can actually track something right there. It's a great part of the frame. We can track something and bring it up. And since this is a 3D thing, you can't just copy the track data from this and paste it there. So you have to actually do a whole nother track, but luckily it's not too bad. So backwards and forwards, which is a great book if you are ever into writing scripts. Backwards and Forwards by, who is it by? It says Bell on the book. It's up on my bookshelf. I can't, it's just the spine. Backwards and Forwards. So, hashtag not sponsored. All right. So, Alt D again. Now we can get our stuff back. Let's turn off our power windows. Great. And now we'll increase the gain a little bit, bring our highlights up, sort of contrast these bad boys around until they're looking good. This is a little bit much, but there we go. Yeah, so you can see that a little bit, especially, I mean, if it was just on TV, you probably wouldn't notice unless you were colorist, but we'll just go ahead and dial this back just a little bit. Now I'll take that. So much more engaging eyes. I'll even add some sharpening, which won't do much since the shot's kind of out of focus, but you know, it'll do enough. We'll just leave it at default because, you know, helps out. That looks pretty fashiony to me. I could even go with making this a little bit more dramatic back here. Not that much. Then we'll undo some of that with this one. This is probably the last node for the normal part of the look, and then we'll get into the sci-fi part. I mean, this looks pretty sci-fi already. You know, you have like some really tiny text over top. Really tiny text. So, luminance versus saturation. We're just going to go ahead and desaturate our shadows. Make sure our saturation is just where we want it at. So, that's looking real expensive. Tone it down here a little bit. I think that's about the amount of life I want in that. So there we go. That's looking pretty good. Now if I want to make this sci-fi, add another node and a layer mixer node. Then add MOS, mosaic blur. Change the smooth strength up a little bit. Change this to reflect. And contrast it way the heck around. And then change this guy to screen. We'll play around with this some more. ACES is giving me some issues. Let's bring this way the heck down. All right. Excellent. So now, with that little bit of mosaic blur on top, it looks like it's some, you know, sci-fi digital signage. Look at that. So if we wanted to, we could add some cliche text over top of this or do whatever. But I mean, for now, I think this is a pretty nice little look. And if we create a compound node with this, and we'll call it optional FX. I just turn that off. You can see it does kind of contrast it up some. So since I like that, we'll go ahead and add a little more contrast to this last node. I've been grading a little more contrasty recently. I just watched Transformers. So, you know. One last thing. Add a quick little vignette over top of this. Get some blur. Create some softness. Then bring it down a little bit. Cool. I'll call that good. So, just like that. Cool, sci-fi, fashion, high-end, chic, etc. If you don't like the sci-fi part, you know, just do a normal video. But, you know, it's always fun to know little extra things in case you feel like doing them. Like the screening a mosaic blur over top of your thing to make it look sci-fi. We'll put that back because it was cool. I thought it was cool. There we go. Look at that. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you liked it, give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike. No matter what, leave your feelings down in the comments below. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the Misa Media YouTube channel, and also be sure to ring the little bell so you are notified whenever I post new videos. It's normally every Monday at 9 a.m., But sometimes I post more, and sometimes I forget to post, or just have other things going on that I can't. Also, be sure to check out MeStreamMedia.com/products, where we have lots of good stuff that'll make color grading and just making your videos look cool easier and faster. So, that's always good. Or just go there just to make my page impressions go up, to make me feel good about myself. Either way works. There's also some free stuff there, which, worth checking out. Also, be sure to share this video with your friends or on any of your Facebook groups or whatever. Be like, hey, this is a cool tutorial about how to make stuff look good. And a little teaser about an upcoming thing about ACES, which is misunderstood a lot. So it's time to clear that up. And I think that's about it. So once again, I've been Theo with Media. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.